Hi everyone, welcome back to Power of Learning. Today, we will be interpreting the book Feeling is the Secret. This is a spiritual book by Neville Goddard that teaches readers how to use the power of their imagination to manifest their desires. The book emphasizes the importance of cultivating positive thoughts and feelings to create a reality that aligns with one's deepest desires. The book is divided into 7 chapters, each addressing a specific aspect of the manifestation process. Chapter 1: Law and its Operation. The author explains that the world we live in is governed by laws, and these laws are always in operation, whether we are aware of them or not. He further explains that these laws are not something that is imposed on us from outside, but rather they are the expression of the power within us. According to the author, there is only one law, and that law is the law of mind. He explains that our mind is the creative power, and everything that we experience in life is the result of the operation of this law. He emphasizes that our thoughts and feelings are the building blocks of our experience, and we are constantly creating our reality through them. Neville also explains that our thoughts and feelings are like seeds, and they will produce fruit after their own kind. If we plant positive thoughts and feelings, we will reap a positive harvest, and if we plant negative thoughts and feelings, we will reap a negative harvest. The author gives an example of how this law operates in our lives by sharing a story of a man who had a problem with his neighbor's barking dog. The man tried all kinds of ways to solve the problem, but nothing worked. Finally, he decided to apply the law of mind, and he started imagining the dog was no longer barking. Within a short period of time, the dog stopped barking, and the man's problem was solved. Neville further explains that the law of mind is always working, whether we are aware of it or not. He emphasizes that we can use this law to our advantage by becoming conscious of our thoughts and feelings and directing them towards what we want to create in our lives. The author also explains that faith is a crucial element in the operation of this law. He emphasizes that faith is not something that we need to acquire from outside, but rather it is the power within us that enables us to believe in what we cannot see. Neville gives an example of how faith operates in our lives by sharing a story of a woman who had a problem with her eyesight. The woman was told by the doctors that she would never be able to see again. However, she refused to accept this diagnosis and started imagining that she could see. She did this with faith, knowing that what she imagined would come to pass. Within a short period of time, her eyesight was restored, and she was able to see again. Chapter 2: Sleep. Neville Goddard explores the relationship between sleep and the manifestation of desires. He argues that sleep is a state of consciousness that is essential for the realization of one's goals and aspirations. According to Neville, sleep is not just a physical necessity but also a spiritual one. During sleep, the conscious mind is inactive, and the subconscious mind is receptive to suggestion. This means that the thoughts and emotions that one experiences before going to sleep can have a profound effect on one's subconscious mind. Neville suggests that the best time to impress the subconscious mind is just before falling asleep. He advises that one should focus on their desires and visualize them as already fulfilled. By doing so, the subconscious mind will accept the images as true and work to bring them into reality. Furthermore, Neville emphasizes the importance of feeling the reality of the desired outcome. He argues that feeling is the secret to successful manifestation. The more vividly one can feel the reality of their desires, the more likely they are to manifest them. Neville also warns against allowing negative thoughts and emotions to enter one's mind before sleep. He argues that such thoughts and emotions will be impressed upon the subconscious mind and work to manifest negative outcomes. To overcome negative thoughts and emotions, Neville advises that one should develop the habit of falling asleep in a positive state of mind. He suggests that one should focus on feelings of gratitude, joy, and love before sleep. By doing so, the subconscious mind will be impressed with positive images and work to manifest positive outcomes. Chapter 3 Prayer. In this chapter, Goddard explores the power of prayer and how it can be used to manifest our desires. According to Goddard, prayer is not just a religious ritual, but a tool that allows us to change our consciousness and align it with our desires. He argues that prayer is a way of using our imagination to create the reality we want to experience. Goddard explains that prayer is not just a request to a higher power, but a declaration of our faith and conviction that what we desire already exists. He suggests that the most effective prayer is one that affirms the reality of our desires, rather than asking for them. The author emphasizes that the key to successful prayer is the feeling or emotion that we attach to it. He asserts that we should pray from a state of gratitude and confidence, as if our desires have already been fulfilled. By doing so, we create a vibrational match between our desires and our reality, which then brings them into alignment. Goddard argues that the power of prayer lies in our ability to use it to change our consciousness and perceptions. He believes that we can use prayer to dissolve our limiting beliefs and replace them with new ones that support our desires. This shift in consciousness then allows us to see new opportunities and take inspired action to manifest our desires. The author also emphasizes the importance of persistence in prayer. He suggests that we should continue to pray until we see evidence of our desires manifesting in our reality. He reminds us that any doubt or fear can block the manifestation of our desires, so we must remain committed to our prayer and belief in its outcome. Chapter 4 Spirit Feeling. In this chapter, Goddard explores the role of spirit feeling in manifestation. Goddard begins the chapter by stating that the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the spirit feeling, and that it is this feeling that brings our desires into manifestation. He argues that our thoughts and beliefs create a vibrational frequency that attracts similar vibrations, and that it is through spirit feeling that we align ourselves with the vibration of our desires. Goddard goes on to explain that spirit feeling is different from physical feeling. Physical feeling is a response to external circumstances, while spirit feeling is a result of our beliefs and thoughts about those circumstances. He emphasizes that we have the power to choose our thoughts and beliefs, and therefore the power to create our reality through spirit feeling. Throughout the chapter, Goddard provides examples of how spirit feeling can be used to manifest specific desires. He emphasizes that it is not enough to simply visualize or think about our desires, but that we must also feel the emotions associated with them as if they have already happened. He argues that it is through spirit feeling that we can create a vibrational frequency that attracts the reality we wish to create. Goddard also discusses the importance of detachment in the manifestation process. He argues that we must detach ourselves from the outcome of our desires and focus on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. By doing so, we allow the universe to bring our desires into manifestation in the way that is best for us. Chapter 5 Imagination and Faith. Goddard begins the chapter by emphasizing the importance of imagination in the creative process. He argues that imagination is the creative power of the universe, and that everything in our physical world was once imagined into existence by someone. This is a powerful concept, as it suggests that we have the power to create our own reality by simply imagining it. However, Goddard also emphasizes that imagination alone is not enough to bring our desires into manifestation. We must also have faith in their realization. He defines faith as the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. This definition highlights the fact that faith is not a belief in something outside of ourselves, but rather a belief in our own ability to manifest our desires. To illustrate this point, Goddard provides several examples of how imagination and faith can be used to manifest specific desires. For instance, he tells the story of a woman who wanted to travel to Paris, but did not have the money to do so. She used her imagination to create a mental image of herself in Paris, feeling the joy and excitement of being there. She then had faith that this desire would be realized, even though she did not know how it would happen. Within a few weeks, she received an unexpected inheritance that allowed her to travel to Paris. Goddard also discusses the importance of persistence and perseverance in the manifestation process. He argues that we must continue to hold the mental image of our desires and have faith in their manifestation, even in the face of obstacles and setbacks. He tells the story of a man who wanted to sell his house, but had been unable to do so for several months. The man used his imagination to create a mental image of his house being sold, and then had faith that it would happen. Even though there were no buyers for several more months, the man persisted in his visualization and faith, and eventually the house was sold. One of the most important points that Goddard makes in this chapter is that we must be careful what we imagine and have faith in, as our thoughts and beliefs create our reality. He writes, "Your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. Guard it with your life, for in it is the secret of life itself." This is a powerful statement, as it suggests that our thoughts and beliefs are literally creating our reality. If we are constantly imagining and having faith in negative outcomes, we are likely to experience negative outcomes. However, if we can learn to focus our imagination and faith on positive outcomes, we can create a positive reality for ourselves. Chapter 6: The Promise Fulfilled. Goddard begins this chapter by emphasizing the importance of believing in the reality of our desires. He writes, "Imagination is the way, the truth, the life revealed," and explains that everything we experience in our lives is a result of our imagination. Thus, if we want to manifest our desires, we must first believe in their reality, and act as if they have already come to fruition. Next, Goddard explains that our thoughts and feelings have a creative power that can bring our desires into reality. He writes, "All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made." This quote from the Gospel of John emphasizes the idea that God, or the creative power of the universe, is within us and that we have the power to create our own reality through our thoughts and feelings. To illustrate this point, Goddard tells the story of a woman who wanted to marry a specific man. Despite being told by friends and family that it was impossible, she continued to imagine herself as his wife and feel the emotions of being in a loving relationship with him. Eventually, the man proposed to her, and they were happily married. Goddard explains that this woman's success was due to her belief in the reality of her desire and her ability to imagine and feel its fulfillment. Goddard also emphasizes the importance of detachment in manifesting our desires. He writes, "The depth of your being is not in things but in you," and explains that our true power lies not in the material objects we desire, but in our ability to connect with our inner selves and the creative power of the universe. When we detach from our desires and focus on the feeling of their fulfillment, we allow the universe to bring them to us in its own time and in its own way. Finally, Goddard encourages readers to have faith in the power of their thoughts and feelings. He writes, "By faith, you will become aware that all things are possible to him who believes." This means that when we have faith in our ability to manifest our desires, we open ourselves up to the infinite possibilities of the universe and allow miracles to occur. Chapter 7: Your Faith is Your Fortune. According to the author, faith is the key to unlocking the power of the imagination and bringing forth one's desires into reality. The chapter begins by stating that faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. It goes on to explain that faith is not merely an intellectual belief or an acceptance of certain religious doctrines, but a deep inner conviction that something is true and real. Faith is not something that can be acquired through external means, but rather something that must be cultivated within oneself through constant practice and persistence. The author emphasizes the importance of having a clear and specific idea of what one wants to manifest, and then holding that idea in one's imagination with complete faith and conviction. He states that the power of imagination is limitless, and that anything that can be imagined can be brought into existence through faith and persistent focus. The chapter also explores the idea that every individual has within them the power to manifest their desires and create their own reality. This power lies in their ability to control their thoughts and emotions and direct their focus towards their desired outcome. The author encourages readers to cultivate a positive mindset and to focus on what they want rather than on what they don't want. In addition to the power of faith and imagination, the chapter also explores the idea of divine intervention in the manifestation process. The author suggests that by aligning oneself with the divine and trusting in its wisdom and guidance, one can overcome any obstacle and achieve their desired outcome. Conclusion: Feeling is the Secret is a timeless classic that offers a unique perspective on the power of the human mind to shape one's reality. Through its practical and inspiring teachings, the book encourages readers to tap into their inner resources and use their imagination to create a life of abundance, joy, and fulfillment. Whether you're seeking personal growth, financial success, or spiritual enlightenment, Feeling is the Secret is a valuable resource that can help you unlock your full potential and achieve your dreams.